So have you ever been in your weekly L10 meeting and been sitting there staring at your KPIs and they're all red, some of them are red, and you don't know what to do? You know enough leads aren't coming through the door, you know margins aren't on point, you're not hitting your revenue goals, but you look at those and you go, okay, I get the story. What the hell do I do? Um, One of the things that, I've been deep in like weekly meeting land here at Pivot, just helping a number of our members dial in that process. And I can't remember where I read it, but, good scorecard hygiene is anchored on one fundamental principle, and that is a 2-to-1 relationship between leading and lagging indicators. So I'm going to zoom in on just the role of business development as an example. So their lagging indicator is leads, right? A super lagging indicator for them is produced revenue. And then ultimately, far enough down the pipeline is gross margin. And I would even pick the fight that most BD, with the exception of lead quality, really don't influence margin a ton. And you kind of don't want them focused on that. You want them focused on making it rain. So then that way the production team has enough to do. So if you're sitting there in your weekly meeting, you're talking about, hey, Steve, random BD rep, you're not generating enough leads, and that's the only measurable on the scorecard, or you've got leads, revenue, margin. Those are the only key performance indicators on the scorecard. Steve's going to look at you and go, look, man, I'm trying like hell. I'm doing everything I can think of to try and bring leads in the door. There's no leading KPIs that precipitate action on the scorecard. So what I wanted to do was just lay some foundation for a few leading KPIs that I found have been successful for business development reps. And if you guys like this enough, I'll go ahead and go into other roles. Number one for me for BD reps, sales activity. Now within Pivot, we take a sophisticated approach on this and create a point system for business developers. So then that way, every single email, every single phone call, every single in-person meeting, every single lunch, every single presentation, marketing events attendance, kind of whatever those activities are that support those BD efforts are given a point total. And then they have a goal to drive a given number of points weekly, 50 points, 60 points, 70 points, whatever that is. So that means that on the weeks where they have those much more lucrative activities, they're scoring a couple lunches, they've got a big juicy marketing event that they're attending, and they've got a presentation locked down. They're going to accumulate the lion's share of their points without having to worry or focus on doing the grunt work of emails, phone calls, and those activities that are further up the scale that drive those lunches, presentations, etc. And then in those weeks where they don't have those juicy opportunities, they really have to focus and hammer to hit their points total on phone calls, emails, etc. So then that way they can drive the results that you're looking for. Another one that I really like is first jobs from a new referral source. So just a simple raw count, driving focus on adding referral sources to your overall business mix. And when you layer this in with a focused effort on agents, a focused effort on plumbers, it starts to really gain traction and produce solid results. Number three for me, everybody talks about master service agreements, ERPs, plumber signups, those commitments for service upstream of actually receiving the service. I look at this in a nuanced fashion. Sometimes you need to do the first job to get the MSA signed. Sometimes you need to get the MSA signed in order to get the first job. And even within a given vertical, it's not like there's continuity. It's not like you can say, oh, within property managers all the time, 100% of the time, we need to do the first job in order to get the MSA signed. It's client specific. But having a leading indicator of how many of those MSAs got signed and a goal for a BD rep to go get them signed can help you gain that traction in the form of a leading indicator upstream of the leads showing up on the dashboard. Um, Comment below. Guarantee you folks have thought of some brilliant leading indicators that I haven't thought of. And just kind of wanted to get the conversation going on something I know we're all fighting out there as we're feeling the compression from insurance markets. That nuance is occurring, and we're all taking an active approach to drive more of our own work in the door. Hope you're having a great Friday. Aloha.